Now, I am shocked, like so many other people out there, when it comes to the news that Trump had the ability to post the $175 million bond from his goofy civil fraud case, which is kind of a misnomer to begin with, because who brought that case? Oh, right, that was the New York State Attorney General with her own political vendetta. But even still, the facts of the case are still very much out there, and then now it's just going to be, pushed along with the appeals courts finally being brought in because the bond was finally pressed. But I was reliably informed by the media that Trump was broke. He actually didn't have any money, okay? It was all just, a magical paperwork. A lot of stuff that needs to be investigated, and we need to have the full force of the federal and every government available brought down upon the orange man because he's really bad and he's a huge liar. Unlike their chosen guy who, I don't know, either had a brief moment of lucidity when he came to the realization he finally told people that, yeah, no, I'm not responsible for anything that gets put out under my own name on the internet, or this is just another Biden moment where he said that he didn't make Easter Sunday, now March 31st, he didn't recognize it as Transgender Day of Visibility. I didn't do that, man. It was just me and the Oyster Bunny up there. This is the top. So is it Biden being senile? Biden's a liar? Or did Biden just admit that the social media presence of his White House, his administration, is as astroturfed as his support at the grassroots level? Either way, I think we can reliably say that it's all projection coming from that side. But just to round that off, I think that it's a little out of column A, a little out of column B. But no. Trump posting this bond Monday evening is very important because this allows for the appeals process to finally take hold and for everything to ultimately go up in smoke because, yeah, okay, Trump had to post a ludicrous amount of money for an absolutely politically motivated prosecution. If you were following even somewhat close to the facts of the case, you'd realize that was a complete and total clown show of a case. And yeah, any higher court with a couple of brain cells between their ears would immediately overturn that. But as we also know, it's not the only trial that Trump is going to have to contend with in 2024, because starting up, oh Lord, in a couple weeks' time, I thought it was the 15th, right? Yeah, it's the 15th, where the first of the 4 big lawsuits that a lot of people are abreast to. You have the Georgia case, you have the 2 federal ones from Jack Smith, and then, of course, you have the first one coming up on the docket. You have big fat Alvin Bragg, with the, as it's been erroneously labeled, the hush money case. And surprise, surprise, this also has a pretty consistent theme about it with politically suspect judges. Trump's gag order. Oh yes, by the way, another thing that came out of that quote-unquote fraud trial, which is a far more apt description than the crimes being investigated would allow you to believe. But there was a gag order placed over the top because Trump, with his ability to command an audience and his astounding platform that he's created and cultivated for himself over the decades, was not allowed to criticize the judge. Judge Engoron, who is, oh boy, quite a piece of work himself. But knowing those same tactics that were curtailed when a gag order was placed on Trump, well, it's been extrapolated out now to the new judge of the new case that's going to be coming along, Judge Juan Mercan, who, after further inspection, is just as much as an activist as Judge Engoron was, but for different aspects. So, Trump's gag order is expanded to stop attacks on family of judge in hush money case after former president called his daughter a rabid Trump hater. Now, where would he come up with that seemingly baseless accusation? Oh, because there's receipts that are out there. Donald Trump must stop verbal attacks on family members of New York judge and others in this upcoming trial on charges stemming from a hush money payment to a dick engineer. The court ruled on Monday after the former U.S. president disparaged the judge's daughter. I have no idea how you can possibly make that stick, but it's commonly known that judges can be little tyrants within the confines of their courtroom. It's just, can you make this work for somebody who is such a public figure like Trump is? Anyways, New York prosecutors argued how Trump is trying to scare potential witnesses and urged Judge Juan Mercan to make clear that his existing gag order, which bars Trump from publicly commenting about witnesses and court staff, also applies to family members. That's interesting. Is this also going to be something that's going to be applied reciprocally? Okay, like is the daughter going to have to stop her comments about Trump? Oh, probably not, but that's fine. There's other people that can also spotlight what she has been doing. They were responding to a March 28th social media post by Trump, who called Mercan's daughter a rabid Trump hater. The social media post and called for Mercan to be removed from the case. Well, this issue is not complicated. Family members of trial participants must be strictly off limits, prosecutor Matthew Cogliano wrote. Defendant's insistence to the contrary bespeaks a dangerous sense of entitlement to instigate fear and even physical harm by saying that she's a rabid Trump hater. All right. Imagine if he said, her social media feed, I've seen it. It's a bloodbath of comments, folks. Oh my God. He's basically calling her for her to be strung up to the loved ones and those he sees in the courtroom, right? Colangelo added, who was himself the target of a Trump online attack last week. Oh my God. However could he possibly withstand the pressure? This wannabe star who's more than willing to have his face plastered over this trial, but whatever. Mercan's daughter runs a digital marketing agency called Authentic Campaigns, which works with Democratic candidates and nonprofits. Wow, doesn't it all seem like a conflict of interest, right? Trump's lawyers have argued that her work poses a conflict of interest, you don't say, and have unsuccessfully sought to oust Mercan from the case. Trump claimed that Mercan's daughter, Democratic political consultant Lauren Mercan, whose film has worked with the campaigns of President Joe Biden and other Democrats, had recently posted a photo on social media depicting her obvious goal of seeing him jailed. And in fact, it gets worse. It gets a heck of a lot worse from there because he has a few other accounts that are out there posting disparaging works. Some newly uncovered tweets and photos from Lauren Mercan's ex account shows she praised her judged father from the same account, and there it is right there, an anonymous account that has very little traction at all. Okay, 84 followers that probably immediately upticked, but it's a burner account, so you wouldn't expect that much. That had a profile pic of President Trump behind jail bars. Oh, when the radical leftists in the position of absolute power and control, their political dissenters is subject to imprisonment and possibly even, yeeting, as history has shown us, yes, every American, blah, blah, blah. Thanks, Lauren. You're really extrapolating on this stuff. So here's the receipts. This is kind of what I'm looking for. This was the account beforehand. So, okay, when I talk about my job, I sometimes say that I'm trying to save the world. I got that from him. My dad, with his parents and 4 sisters, 77. Yeah, I don't really care about that. Okay, cool. Immigrants from Colombia now in the Supreme Court. Yeah, representation and all that crap. But there's her profile following 14 accounts. No followers at all. Just a burner account that she was using outside of her digital marketing campaign. But she was also trying to promote it, and she's done public speaking and couldn't get any followers. Good stuff on that. But I mean, this rabbit hole does run reasonably deep. So we'll just go, per her own words, Lauren Mercan. Throughout her career, Lauren has fought hard to get results, not just for her clients, but for the industry as a whole and the people who work in it. Her work is setting new benchmarks and winning elections, in addition to doing groundbreaking historical work for clients like John Tester, Kamala Harris, Adam Schiff, oh my God, and others. Authentic Campaigns is setting new industry standards through its commitment to diversity, transparent compensation, employee benefits, and more. Lauren is working to transform the industry by developing new best practices for the work we do for our clients, as well as work we do for our people. Yeah, another consultancy firm that's just a grift. Like, come on, man. Here you have from the official Authentic Campaigns account, overwhelmingly excited to announce that there's Lauren's account is being named a partner and part owner of Authentic Campaigns effective immediately. Excited to announce, there it is, that yes, Lauren is becoming Authentic Campaigns vice president in February. And all it took was a whole bunch of donations to Act Blue. Good for her. Good for her. Bad for America, but this is definitely going to be something to pay attention to just in case. It ends up going predictably off the rails because this is not going to be, it's obviously not the first legal case that regards Trump that is being presided over by a political activist or somebody who's, 1 degree removed from one. but also not the last case that's going to be played out in 2024. Things are starting to heat up in the political world, and it's right about time, because it's still far enough out from the election, from the official nomination process to play out for the Republicans to do something shady in the shadow of this blatant corruption. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.